You can see Mount Baker right behind us there. But today is our last full day in Washington, so probably going to be the last video we're going to do of this trip, and we're going to head to the San Juan Islands. Let's go check it out. And now we're getting ready to get on the ferry, which will take us to San Juan Islands. All right, we're driving up this ramp here. Holy smokes. Looks like we'll be right over here. So this is what the ferry looks like, and you can see it's a very tight fit. Look at this, with the tables and everything. I think we're gonna head towards the front of, oh, this is a little cafe. We're gonna head this way towards the front and go outside, but you can see they've got all of these booths that you can sit at. And then right here, they've got all these cushion chairs. We're gonna head outside. And then you can also stand out here and look at the water. You can see this ferry coming in, and look at the diesels, the 18-wheelers on it. That's unreal. All right, we made it to the back. Here's what the back looks like. Looks like we're going pretty quick. You can see how they pack in all of these vehicles. It's pretty crazy. Look at all of these mountains out there. Way off in the distance, way right there, is Mount Rainier. There's some more mountains over there.
We are headed to San Juan Islands, and actually a fun fact about that is Chris Pratt has a mountain, so
maybe we'll meet him, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
You can see all of these islands that we're passing through. Like I said, we're going to San Juan Island. Look at that right there. Look at that house up on the hill. Here's some more houses on this island. Look at that. That'd be something. You can't even imagine. And look how big the ferry is compared to just like a big boat. And here's the other side of Mount Baker. So it's been, I think, a little over an hour, and I heard we're getting close. So I think we're gonna go sit back in the car and get ready to pull off of the ferry.
If you're not downstairs early, you may delay your departure by up to a half hour. That is not pleasant. You have to stand on the car deck. It's awkward. For your sake, please make your way to the car deck level at this time.
So we made it to the parking lot of the English Camp Historic National Park. So we're gonna do some exploring. So you can see English Camp. In 1859, the killing of a pig on San Juan Island brought England and the United States to the brink of war over the issue of territorial rights here. You can see it says English Camp to the left, Crook House to the right. It's perfect weather today too. It's 70 degrees. Okay, we're down here at the bottom, and they have an information center. I wonder if they have a stamp in there for our passport book. Little signage before we go in. Oh wow, look at this. Little gift shop. Oh, yep, here's the stamps. Pretty cool. So there's two stamps at this one.
So this is the dated one. Pretty good.
Yep.
And now these aren't stickers, they're just sheets, so you can tape it in there. This is the one that's specific.
Oh, that looks really good.
Oh, thank you. There we go.
All right, we're gonna head down here towards the water. Our goal today is to find or spot an orca. This is really cool. That's really neat. And then over here they have a garden we're gonna go in. And here's a sign that shows the different buildings that were out here. We were just in that. Got some really pretty flowers. So we're heading up this big trail to overlook that. Kind of an interesting trail. Look at how high up this is. But when you get to the very top, it's gonna be an amazing view. We have made it to the top, look at this. So now we're just walking kind of on this path up here. And then that's gonna take us right back to where we parked. Now I think what we're gonna do is head to the next destination on San Juan Island. So we're gonna hop in the car and drive there. All right, now we made it to Lime Kiln Point. And we're gonna go explore this area. So here's the sign for the historic lime kiln, and then over to this way, wildlife viewing area, lighthouse, and interpretive center. Ooh, there's a whale watching site, the lighthouse, and then the map of the area.
Ooh, I like that.
Lime Kiln Point. It says whales are here. Do not disturb the pups. Orcas frequently asked questions. And here's a nice little like gift shop, coffee, snack place. Lime Kiln Point State Park. They also have this little cool orca statue right out in front. We're gonna be heading this way on this path for the whale watching area. Again, the goal of this trip would be spotting a whale. You've seen whales in real, like in the wild. I have never, so that would be a first. Oh yeah, there was a, look, there's whales.
Oh my gosh!
That's so cool. I'm gonna keep heading this way. I don't know how well you can see the orcas, but they're definitely out there right now. That's awesome. All right, they keep swimming out here, so we're gonna get a good view of it. Oh, right there. See if I can zoom in. You can see the kayaker out here too, next to the orcas. Look how cool it would be to have a picnic over here. Here's some signage about what the orcas are up to. And then what's out there. Humpback whales. Kind of walked up to the higher point here. Take a look over this way. See if we can find anything. Also, what's really cool is that's Canada. So we literally came just at the right time because we haven't seen it in a while, but there's what, maybe 5 or so?
Yeah,
Something like that.
There was 2 sets, and it looked like maybe 2 or 3 in each of them.
And I guess somebody earlier was talking about there was maybe like 16 of them out here.
Yeah, we might have caught the tail end.
I'm so glad we did though. That was awesome.
The timing was perfect.
It was. You think, and I think you're right, you saw one jump out of the water.
I saw a big
Splash, yeah.
and then I saw their dorsal fins also after.
All right, now we're gonna head to the lighthouse. It would be so awesome to have a picnic out here. Oh, I can see the lighthouse off in the distance there. Look at that, that is so amazing. Getting closer to the lighthouse, and look at this view. Look at this really cool tree. We're up over here by the lighthouse. It looks like this little path is gonna take us there. Here's an activity center. Look, it shows the different type of nests, I guess, around. Look at that nice picnic table. Different nests. All right, we are almost to the lighthouse, and it looks like you might be able to go in, possibly. This says the Orca listening station. Welcome to the Whale Museum's listening station. Oh, what's inside this lighthouse? Oh, it looks like just a bunch of information. Interesting. Oh, look, it looks like they keep track of maybe spottings. Look at the cool picture down below. We walk this way. Whoa, that wind. Sorry, it's really windy, but check this out. The house is up on the cliff. How cool is that? Now this is the other side of the lighthouse. Let's come up this way. That wind is cold. Oof. This island really reminds me of when I went to Greece. Lord, thank you that you put the orca whales here at just the right time. You can see whales last sighted. It's 1 p.m. Look at this water though. So after a successful sighting, we're gonna walk back to the parking lot. Next, I think we're going to eat with the family. And then after that, we'll be able to look in some shops, maybe get some ice cream, some coffee or something like that down in the little area where the ferry's at. I guess we're going to eat at a place called Roche Harbor. Not as the roach as you may think, roach. What is it?
R-O-C-H-E.
Yes, that type of roach. We just parked, and so this is Roche Harbor. There's a restaurant here that we're gonna eat at. Wow, look at this. Look at all those boats. That is awesome. Look at this huge whatever it is. Is that like a castle up on the hill? And here's the Hotel de Haro. That's awesome. This is really pretty. Check this out. God be with ye till ye come again. Look at the gardens out in front. Look at these boats over here. This is unreal. And this is where we're eating the Madrona Bar and Grill. I got a menu over here that I'll show you. All right, and here's the menu. It's huge.
That's his, criteria.
I'm not sure what we're gonna get. There's the sign. This is awesome. We get up here on the overlooking the water. That's what the inside looks like. Got a bar over there. Oh wow. This is amazing. And then restrooms are just around the corner there. Show the menu here again. Now they do have gluten-free options here as well. Check this side out. I mean, it's a really good menu. I may just ask our waiter which one's the best because ginger and juice sounds good. Local ginger beer and the Pig War Sparkler, which actually comes with a Lucky Pig, and the Derby Julep. I mean, they all sound great. All right, so I got the Pig War Sparkler because you get to keep the Lucky Pig, and then Timber got the ginger and juice. I'm either thinking maybe the fish tacos, the Wild Pacific shrimp, the quesadilla looks really good, the clam chowder, probably really good as well. The tacos are served with tortilla chips and mango peach salsa. All right, so we're doing the fish tacos and the shrimp and avocado Louis. Here's the Pig War Sparkler. Look at the little pig, you get to keep the pig. That's hilarious. And here's the ginger and juice. Oh, those look so good.
They smell good.
Then this is the strawberry cooler. All right, let's give this a try here. Not bad. Let's try this. Oh, I think I like the ginger and juice better. That's very good. But I do get the little pig. Maybe I need to stir it up a little bit. The ginger and juice has more flavor for sure. Here's the first one. It's the shrimp and Louis. And then over here we have the quesadillas. Oh, those look so good. Here are the fish tacos. Those look stinking good. And then here's the peach salsa and the tortilla chips. Chips and salsa looks really good. It's good. Very good. Fish taco. That's very good. Now the shrimp. Also very good. All right, we're finishing up. Little pig's looking on. All right, that was super good. I think what we're gonna do now is go next to where the ferry's at and look at all the shops, maybe get some ice cream and some coffee. And then the last little leg of the trip will be taking the ferry back over. So far, really successful day. Just walking down here by these awesome, huge boats. Look at these. Look at that one. Wow. This is awesome. Look at the church over here on the hill. Look what's flying over us here. Pretty unreal. Look at all these. I'm gonna walk out this way for a second. Oh my goodness. This is massive. Look at that. Oof. Got some fresh seafood here. Look at that. That looks really cool. Oh, live crab. Here's a yacht sales. It's closed, but you could do a tour on it. Look at the massive houses over here. And there's Popeye, the one I saw earlier. That massive, huge one down there at the very end. All right, so here's Popeye. Popeye definitely is the biggest one here. Couple fun facts. Gary Payton has had a boat out here, and his boat's called the Glove. And John Wayne used to bring his boat over here quite often. Look at the games they're playing out here. And over here are the lime kilns. There's a little sign up there that talks about them, but these are the lime kilns. Here's a closer look at those kilns. There's a sign over here, we'll read about it. And here's a little bit about the first lime kilns. And you got some bocce ball going on over here as well. Now we could have probably spent all day here and learned so much about the town and all that, but just from the amount of time we were here and what we saw, this place is really, really cool. All right, so we just parked for our spot on the ferry, and I think we're gonna head into a coffee place or like a gift store or something like that. And here's what the coffee place looks like that we stopped in. I got some ice cream. And then I got a white chocolate frappuccino. That's delicious. That's really good. All right, so we got coffee, looked in some shops. Now we're gonna head back towards the ferry because we'll be boarding soon. All right, we're not gonna film our trip back on the ferry because it'll be the same thing that you already saw, but that was our trip out to San Juan Islands, actually the San Juan Island here in Washington, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was really cool. We got to see the orca whales. That was like a dream come true. I guess the only thing we really didn't do is see Chris Pratt, but everything else we got to do. But I had a good time. You?
Yeah, same. Loved it.
It was great.
Loved it.
Weather was perfect. So with that being said, that does it for today. Thanks for watching.